Hey there, and welcome to the Do Life Big podcast. This podcast is going to be your jam if you want to live to your full potential and don't believe in half-assing anything in your life. If we want to do life big, that means we've got to get out of our own way because we only have this one shot to make it awesome. I'm your host, Kathy, and I'm a mom of three whose BFF is cold brew, a retired school teacher turned online entrepreneur, and an author. I'm loud, bold, and will always keep it real. I'm determined to live my best freaking life possible, and I'm here to help you do the same. I'll be packing this podcast with tips, motivation, inspiration, and strategies to finally get you where you want to go. And we will have a ton of laughter along the way because, let's be honest, we can't ever take ourselves too seriously, right? I'm so excited you are here with me today. Now let's get this party started. Hey, my friend, what's up? And welcome back to another episode of Do Life Big. I'm so excited to have you here today. Today's episode is going to be all about the power of the pivot, what to do when the plan isn't working. How can you tell the difference between quitting versus pivoting and shifting? And today's episode is really one that I think every entrepreneur, every dreamer, every go-getter needs to hear. So buckle up because we're going to get this party started here. I'm talking about the power of the pivot. What to do when you thought the plan that you put in place just isn't working anymore. How many times have we seen this happen in our business, in our life? But here's a big truth bomb that I'm going to drop for you. Just because the plan made sense when you first initially started doesn't mean that you failed now that you're all of a sudden at this crossroads where you feel like you are being pulled to pivot or shift. It doesn't mean that you're inconsistent. It doesn't mean that you are not cut out or meant to do whatever it is that you've been working on. It doesn't mean that you don't have what it takes. All it means is that you're growing, you're learning, and you're listening. And most importantly, it's listening to that intuition. It's that little voice that starts to whisper, something just feels a little off. This just doesn't seem to be working anymore. I feel like I need to shift. I feel like I know I need to do something a little bit differently, but I might be a little scared to do it. Because we all start with a plan, right? We all know what it's like to launch the business. You have the idea. You get it going. You set the goal, right? You map out the whole strategy for it. You do the courses, you do the trainings, you follow the checklist. You're going through the motions, and then all of a sudden, it begins to feel just not as exciting as it used to feel. Remember when you first started, how much excitement and energy it brought you? But sometimes the further that you go, the more you start to realize, shit, this is not really working the way that I thought it would. This is actually not going anywhere near as close to what I thought would happen. Or maybe you might just start to think, this just isn't aligned anymore. Or maybe even you might be thinking, I've changed since then. I've changed and I've outgrown this, and I don't want this the way that I used to. But here's the mistake that a lot of people make. Instead of pivoting and listening to that inner voice and that intuition, we push harder. We work more. We work longer. We hustle, hustle, hustle. We grind. We get to the point where we feel so burnt out, we don't even know what to do with ourselves anymore. We double down, and it's exhausting. And the reason why we do that is because we're scared that people are going to look at us and judge us and look at us as quitters, as being a quitter. We mistake pivoting and shifting and interpret it as we're quitting when we're not quitting. I really want you to hear this loud and clear because this is something, let me tell you, I had to learn the hard way. And it wasn't very fun. But pivoting is not quitting. Write it down, as long as you're not in the car. Write it down, but pivoting is not quitting. Pivoting is brave. Pivoting is wise. Pivoting is powerful. And the most successful people who I know today, they pivot often. They pivot frequently. They don't just stay stuck in something just because they once said yes to it. They choose progress over pride time and time again. I've had to pivot so many times in my life. I'll never forget when I was running my online health and fitness business, and I was running this for like a good 9 years. It's all I knew. It's everything that everyone knew me for was health and wellness. I didn't even have an Instagram account when I started. And I built my entire Instagram account all around health and wellness, everything health and wellness. And I was awesome at it. And I was the expert in that area. I was doing well with it. And I was making multiple six figures with that business. But I got to a place in that business where I didn't have the energy for it like I once had when I first started. It didn't excite me anymore. It didn't bring me the joy and the energy that it once brought me. It wasn't in alignment anymore with my goals, with my life, with what I was really feeling like I was being called to do. And I remember hearing this little intuition voice, this little sound of, you should go off and create your own program. You should go off and launch your own podcast. And I dismissed it because I kept thinking, well, if I shift gears now, people are going to think that I'm quitting on this other business. And on paper, the business looked awesome, right? The money was great. I was working from home. I was with all my kids, never had to miss a moment, super flexible, free vacations, free cruises, you name it, it happened. And on paper, it looked great. But inside, something was off and something was missing. And what I didn't realize at the time was that that business was meant to be a stepping stone. I had grown so much over that 9-year period. I was a completely different person from all the personal growth. And so for 2 years, I chose not to pivot because of this fear of people thinking that I was quitting on it. It wasn't going to work out, that people would think that I was stupid for it. But guess what? That little intuition, that little inner voice that's telling you it's time to move, it's time to pivot, is going to get louder and louder and louder until you listen to it. So that's the key, is to really tune in and listen to it. The moment that I gave myself permission to change direction, to pivot, to shift, about 3 or 4 years ago now, that was the moment that momentum returned. It was the moment that the energy came back. It was the moment that more alignment was happening in my life. And then guess what? The results always follow. So I want you to think about that. I'm going to ask you right here, right now, just want you to think about yourself and your business right now, or just your life if you're not running a business. Where might you be forcing something that's just no longer serving you? You just know that it no longer fits you. You've outgrown it. Maybe it's a product, maybe it's a service, maybe it's a schedule that you once used that worked all the time, but now the schedule feels damn near impossible and it's just not happening for you anymore. Maybe it's a message or it's a brand direction that just doesn't light you up anymore and you need to tweak it. Listen, here's the thing. You are allowed to change your mind. All right, we need to normalize this, but you are allowed to change your mind. What you said yes to at one point or another does not mean that you have to continue to say yes to it right here, right now, if you are being called to do something else. Pivot, shift, embrace it. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to pivot. You're allowed to shift. And as a matter of fact, it is important that you pivot and you shift on a regular basis, because if you don't, you risk staying stuck. You risk staying stuck in something that was only meant to be a stepping stone for you. So here's your takeaway for the week that I want you to really listen to right now. I want you to let go of the guilt. Just let go of the guilt. Let go of the fear. Give yourself permission to pivot and shift. That next level that you're looking for, it might not come from pushing harder. It's probably most likely going to come from you releasing what no longer fits and what no longer serves you in your life, in your business. So shine the light back on yourself and your business and your life right now and really think about, where are you feeling called to pivot? And I would love to hear what you say about this. So send me a DM on Instagram. You can send it over at Do Life Big. Share this episode with someone who you think needs to hear this. We need to normalize changing, pivoting, shifting. It's okay. It's not quitting. It's pivoting. It's an essential part in your growth if you want to grow. Share this episode with someone. Tag me at Do Life Big. I would really appreciate it if you share this with someone who you know needs to hear it. And then just a reminder that my Empowered Moms Business Circle community is going to be opening up on Thursday. Don't miss out. Get your name on the wait list at kathyreuter.com/empowered. We'll put the link in the show notes. If you're an ambitious mom who wants to rise and break through to the 6 or 7 figure level, and you're sick and tired of being stuck at income plateaus and having things like procrastination, self-doubt, perfectionism, the imposter syndrome, comparison holds you back and you're ready to bust through that, this is the place for you to be. You're not going to want to miss out. So get the link in the show notes. And thank you so much for listening today. I'm cheering for you. You know I love you, and I will see you the next time. Bye. Thanks so much for listening in. I really appreciate you choosing to spend your time here with me today. You totally rock. Hey, listen, if you loved today's episode, go ahead and tag me on social and go share this with a friend right now. Like, do it immediately before the day gets ahead of you and you totally forget. Couldn't be more pumped to be on this journey with you guys. Go make today awesome, and I will see you the next time.